Abusua como our channel so AG Politics Avenue. Podcast house training make we make headlines. And it be epsom any dim ambraximu. Mr. Oxonia young court ye a minute sibling. Uni a boy just a slim size as ye. Now what then the DP fix it? Idea a constitute a year Abdul Hanan. Ne re-arrest abra or ye say or call a amanoni acquiring to Tian was based on any bankets. Omu I elected a year office of the Attorney General. Say Papa per se we can be free na account man. Umuhuni say court editable at a year account. No and amount omu erashi ya omusu iteki a action against him. Opinion no ajumbre abra. O can simply if a NPP Ľoǒteř one and whom even here say, Unia Borum now a in Samahodua, who really go or edify. Aha, A.General Politics Albany. Mr. Say you moon in 40.
What would you expect the council to say? To say that yes, my client was having to clean his account. We know that he's aware that there's a freezing order on the account, and he took steps to convince them. We don't work at the bank. It was his own bankers who alerted us that, hey, there's something going on here that we don't think is. That is how come we got to know, and that's how come we took the steps. So it wasn't as if we were just nosing around. No, we were sitting and his bankers called us that this is what they believe was going on, and we took the necessary steps.
So he was trying to withdraw from the account or clear the bank account?
Our suspicion, of course, he has not cleared the account. So we can only say that there was an attempt to, because the bank stopped. They did not, comply with his request, and then they called us in. So we can only say that it was an attempt. Or we believe that it was an attempt. Not that he cleared it, of course, he didn't clear it.
So subsequently he was arrested as a result of that attempt to travel outside the country and then clear his bank account. Then the matter went to court, and then he was then given, allowed to travel.
The court did not allow him to go. It was simple. The court gave him a timeline to travel. By the time we went back to court, the timeline had lapsed. So that was it. There was no other application to leave, and that was not granted anyway. It wasn't even made in the first place for it to be granted. So that report is completely false.
So it's not true that he went to court after they were asking that you produce him, but you remember that
nobody asked that we produce him. Nobody directed us to produce anyone.
The counsel for Hanan had not gone to court asking that his client.
Yeah, he asked, but we were not asked to produce him. The court said there was no merit, and then it was dismissed.
Right. So that's what I'm referring to, because even before then, the court took a decision on that. I think that he had been released already. And so then they withdrew that.
They withdrew their application the previous day. And then they filed 2 applications. But I mean, the points in summary, there was no order for anyone to produce him because he was already
out.
Yes, he was already out. Yeah.
And so that's the point I'm making.
Oh, you want us to go? I thought we were going to end by saying that there was no need to go into the details, but if you want us to go into the details, we can go, but I don't think that's what you want to use the time for.
No, we are not going into the details. It's just that some issues that have come up in that we want you to address.
Okay, you want us to go into
just like the Hanan issue. I didn't ask you anything about SkyTrain because there haven't been any controversial matters on SkyTrain. But in this particular one, there have been a couple of controversial issues, including what we were just talking about.
Yes, and I'm saying that. Do you want me to give you the details of what happened, or you want us to just, because I didn't think it was a major issue. You wanted to know the status of the case.
Oh.
But if you want us to do a detailed, that one, I don't know how much time you have, but I can.
Whatever details you can share with us, we'll take.
I don't think it will be a good use of your time because it didn't affect anything. What is happening now is that we are yet to start.
But I know you say it didn't affect anything, but then the story is being couched to impact the use of the Attorney General's powers in this case. If you have paid attention to the commentary
from January 2025, we have not, every person that we have arrested, the same allegation is made that we are using state power. So perhaps if we want to follow that narrative, then we don't even have to invite anyone, we don't have to arrest anyone, we just have to let anyone that we suspect of committing a crime to be working. That's why I said that when you follow the minority and the NPP and the narrative, and you run it through the facts, you will see that basically what they are saying is that never invite anybody, never arrest anybody, allow us, everybody to be working and do whatever they like, because not even one person have you arrested that they didn't make the same allegation. So I don't think that Ghanaians, that fact is lost on Ghanaians, that it is the natural response that they have to everything. They will say you are using state power to arrest enemies. They will say you are using the courts to jail enemies, persecution, political, the same thing in respect of everything. Even when the person said, I am pleading, I want to do plea bargain, they will still say that you are using the state. So the person you are fighting for said, I want to do plea bargain. Of course, that's not to say that plea bargain means that you are guilty, but if you know you are not, why are you going to? So the point I'm trying to make is that we cannot base our national life entirely on the narrative that you are using the state power to. We've had kind of Kenoforiata issue that we are dealing with. We've had Sedina issue. So you will be an irresponsible Attorney General when there's a bank calls you, gives you information, you did your check, and then you say because of what people will say that you are using state power, so you allow the person to go, and when the person goes and doesn't come back, you think the Ghanaians who gave you power, who gave you a mandate to govern this country, will be happy that because of your fear that they will say you are using the power that you have been given legitimately, you have allowed someone to travel out of the country who cannot come back or who will not come back, and you use Ghanaian taxpayers' money to now be engaging foreign countries and to get extradition. Of what wisdom would you be boasting of as an Attorney General or any government official if this is what you are doing?
So the state had reasonable,
suspicions,
but you had reasonable suspicion.
Yes,
that Hanan was traveling not to go and see his ophthalmologist, but to escape justice.
It could be that he will see his ophthalmologist, but the core issue is not whether he will see him or not. The core issue is, we call it flight risk.
Okay.
What is the level of risk? So we do analysis. This person, is it likely to come back? You know, a lot of Ghanaians or some Ghanaians are familiar with visa. When you are going for visa, they will say this person is not likely to come back. It is not. It may be true that he will go and come back, but they are just saying that when we look at all these factors, you fall within a category of persons who, when they travel, are not likely to come back. That's what the visa people use. So there's a whole analysis that.
So was he already on a no-flight list?
Yes, he was on the stop list. So what the court did when they applied to go to do the medical, we considered the court considered and said he can go. Then after he was given the leave, then he now decided to do these things that I mentioned, which made him, in our view, a more likely person not to return than he was when the court made a decision. And that is a normal thing. If the court grants you bail, okay, it grants you bail right now, go and come to court, and you go and commit another offense, or you go out there and you are going to interfere with evidence, the court will revoke the bail and put you. So it is a normal, it's not anything new, it is the normal thing that that happens in the courts.
Let's move away from that, because there are other oral cases that you've been looking at.
Yeah, so then after that, there's Ťrǒublě. Ťrǒublě, our fourth witness, is in the box, and we hope that by this week or next week, it would have been discharged. When that happens, then when he's discharged, it means that we have closed our case, and then the accused person will finally be given the opportunity to come and mount his defense, because over the period, at least we can identify about 3 or 4 defenses that he has been trying to put across, which makes the whole case quite interesting, because at the point, we believe they were saying that they actually bought the equipment and that the equipment is there. Then at the point, they seem to be saying that the money was a loan that the accused person gave and that he was taking it back. At a point, he even published a list of politicians that he said he gave the money to help in their campaign. And then at a point, they said it was so, and all these explanations are contradictory. If the money was used to buy the equipment, then it cannot be the money that you used to sponsor the politicians. Then it cannot be loan that you were taking back from the company. Then, so I find it fascinating that this is the kind of explanation that I've been given so far at the first half of the case. Recently, there was an issue also of they made a request for disclosures on the source of money in the government bank accounts. And then we said we do not have any information about the source of the money before it came to the government bank account. And there was this whole issue about, if you don't know about the source, then you cannot know what it is. And I find it quite interesting, fascinating, because any money in any government bank account is for the government. And if you are prosecuting someone from stealing government money, you don't need to go and find out whether the money came from taxes or from foreign loans or from the sale of natural resources, or however the money came into a government bank account. It's of no moment. Once the money enters the government account, it is government account, it is government money. And to take it out, you need to follow certain procedures. It is the lack of that procedure which is constituting the stealing. The accused person took money from government account, and put it in a private account, and immediately within 6 months spent it on specific things. We have put all that evidence before the court, right? So I, in my mind, have no doubts whatsoever that these things, it's not a very complicated issue. You asking us how the money came to be government money is of no moment to the issue. If you are in secondary school and you overpay your fees, do you say because you overpaid your fees, you go and take you go to the business office and you take money and put it in your pocket and say, because I overpaid my fees? Right. You have to follow procedure to get a refund. So no matter how you think the money entered the account, once it's in the account, it's government money. And unless you follow that procedure to collect the money back, there's no basis for what we are saying. But again, I have observed that when you are prosecuting, and this is my first time being a prosecutor, so when you're prosecuting, especially in these highly sensitive cases, there are people who constitute themselves into departments of misinformation. They try to do everything to make sure that either they put the judge into disrepute, or they put the lawyers into disrepute, or they put the facts into disrepute, so as to blind the public and create a certain narrative. But we are very focused. We have done our investigations. We have our facts which we have put before the court, and we will not allow any department of misinformation or disinformation to confuse us or the court.
Very well. How many of the oral cases are we prosecuting now in total?
I think we have I think we are between 5 and 10 now. 5 and 10. Advanced stages.
At varied stages.
Yeah.
Of prosecution.
Advanced stages of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, very well. And how many in total are in your report?
When we analyzed the report, I think we had about 30 cases that we thought
were prosecutable.
Yeah,
so we are looking at like a third of them being prosecuted now.
Yeah, we have other dockets already, but we are going to start with them either during the vacation, the legal vacation. We are going to start new cases. Yeah.
Which brings me to the question on what we should expect from October when the legal year begins.
We will continue. I mean, we will continue what we have done. We are going to continue prosecuting. As far as the oral is concerned, we are going to do it.
Any big case coming up?
Oh, let me just hold on to that.
Why?
There will be other cases. When we're working, we don't actually focus on which one is big or which one is that. We focus on which one is prosecutable. But I can tell you there will be some interesting cases coming soon.
I see.
Yeah.
let's look at issue around bail, because for a lot of people, particularly in the last couple of years, the concern has been that bail is being used as a form of punishment under this administration. As Deputy Minister for Justice,
I also get a bit. You see, the bail issue. Bail is based on a number of factors. The nature of the crime, okay, is one of such factors. Even the accused person's behavior, past, present, or likely behavior, they're all part of it. Okay. If you are investigating someone who has stolen 10 CDs, and then you put the bail to 1 CD, the person is likely to break the bail and pay 1 CD, or get someone to pay the 1 CD. So usually the bail is measured based on the nature of the offense. In, I think, this Sagleby, they gave a bail condition that was, as at 2021 or 2022, was running into how many millions, hundreds of millions of because of the nature of the subject matter. So I think people use their personal circumstances. So if you say someone's bail condition is 50 million, and then I look at myself and say, oh, I have never seen 10 million before. So how are you asking someone to use 50 million to put bail? But the truth is, the person maybe is being accused of stealing 500 million. So we always need to match what is at stake and the bail terms. Of course, I am not oblivious of the fact that there are situations where bail is quite excessive, but even then, courts have given bail conditions which accused persons have not been able to satisfy because of the same problem. If you are accused of something, you need to get people to come and bail you. It's people's willingness to bail you that determines what should happen. Someone cannot satisfy bail condition of 1 million. Another person can satisfy 50 million, 500 million. It's all about variances. So again, when you run the facts, you will see that it is not really true, especially when it comes to Iyoko. I think there's this narrative that Iyoko has been using the bill, but when you
but can you blame people when they think that?
No, I'm saying that, you see, you are a media person and you know how narrative can create perception, and the perception can become a belief. Iyoko grants bail, and sometimes when we go to court, the court even give higher bail conditions to the person. So when you look at those things, you realize that it is not even truly, it's not correct that Iyoko give excessive bail, because Iyoko gives a bail and you expect that, okay, we all believe that at least the principle of the court will be fairer than, but the courts give even sometimes higher bail condition than Iyoko in respect of the same person.
We have also seen instances where the bail will only be given in last minutes.
And let me ask you, there are accused persons, okay, who would, during the interrogation, they prefer Iyoko bail condition to going to court. If I told you, you won't believe, but they are.
We in Samahuru Tim Course or Channel so, Mammy and what's so Jim Ray. That's an so far in the Dumia Dominia. Unia, it was saying.